Hello everybody and welcome to the Resi Weekend Workflow. We'll talk about all the ins and outs of using Resi as well as a little bit of troubleshooting. Let's dive in. Formerly known as Living as One, Resi is a message playback device. We use it to play back messages on the weekends and Wednesday nights. You can find the Resi in one of your video racks. Depending on the campus you're at, it may be on the top video rack or underneath the tech booth. Let's go ahead and find it and power it on. All we have to do is click the power button and we should see the blue light on the front. We typically leave these devices on so that broadcasts can push message files overnight. Now when we first boot up the decoder, we'll get this screen. The login credentials should automatically populate, so all we have to do is click sign in. Now, it may take us a minute to get network connection, so if you can't sign in immediately, wait for a few minutes and try again. Once we've signed in, we can see our events list. This is where we'll choose the event that we'll be using for the day. Be sure to check the 4-on-1 channel in Teams to see which event we'll take. For example, if Craig is live at the 4 o'clock on Saturday, you may take the Saturday live event. If Craig likes the message that he preached, we'll decide to save that file as it corresponds in the message series. So Sunday morning at 8:30, you might take that file. Again, refer to the 4-on-1 channel for all the information. Whenever you select a new event, you'll be asked if you want to clear the cache. We always want to clear the cache to make space for the event that we'll be working with for that specific day. It basically clears out all the processing power for the computer to start fresh. If we need to reboot the Resi, we can select the icon in the top right-hand corner and select Restart. Once we have our event selected, we'll see it start to populate in the bottom Transport Control section. You'll see Buffer Time Remaining. This details how much of the video file has been loaded. If it appears to stop or go backwards, there might be a network issue present, so you might want to have a backup ready. To the left of the seek bar are the transport controls. We have rewind, forward, play, and pause. Pretty self-explanatory. Something to note about playing the message file using the keyboard is you can't just press spacebar to play the message. You need to press Control and spacebar. This is a safety feature so that no one accidentally bumps the spacebar and stops the message. When using the rewind or forward buttons, it's worth noting that it's not a latch function. We can see the seek amount on the bottom left side, meaning if we press forward once, our file is going to go forward by 5 seconds. This helps us to dial in specific start times for our file that's pretty long. Now you might say, I wish I could mark the beginning of a certain spot in the file so I know where to go every time. That brings us to the cue list. A cue is simply a marker that sets a certain position in the file that you can jump to at any time. You can set these by going to a point in the video using the seek bar. Then type in a new description and click Add Cue. It's worth noting in our cue list that you can go to a cue, update a cue, or delete a cue. So let's walk through a couple scenarios. Let's say Craig is preaching live at 4 o'clock on Saturday. What are we going to do? We're going to go to the 4-on-1 channel and make sure that Craig is preaching live. If he is, we'll go to our events list. We'll select Saturday Live and select the event. Now, if we don't see the Saturday Live event, we may want to refresh the list. Once we have our event selected, we'll clear the cache. Then we'll go to our cue list and look for our cues. Broadcast should insert cues into each event. If you don't see any cues for the live event, make sure to reach out to the 911 channel. We'll go ahead and select the message start cue. Now we're all ready for the service. If you remember from our switcher training, we shouldn't have to manually trigger the playback of Resi. When we click the message button on the switcher, it will automatically play Resi, and a couple seconds later, it will play the hyperdeck. It's always good to be ready in case for some reason the Resi doesn't fire. Let's walk through one more scenario. Let's say we have a pre-recorded message. I'm going to select the Events tab, and I'm going to select the name of that pre-recorded message. Click the Select Event tab and select Clear. Once it starts loading up, we'll go to our Queues tab. We can go to the Message Start queue or create our own Message Start queue. Again, if you're on a live event and there are no queues in your event, make sure to reach out to the 911 channel on Teams. So there you go. We're all ready for the service, and that's everything you need to know about Resi. See you next time.